Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Charles, also as Doctor of Ghetto here. Yesterday, I'm sure you guys are aware of, I've recently posted two videos. It's actually more of an audio recording from WorldNet Daily Radio stating about the repercussions of this healthcare reform. Maybe there are positives and some negatives, but hey, what can I say? To my perspective, this is what it came down to. Yesterday, they passed in the House of Representatives. There was some sort of amendment of H.R. 925. I think it's in replacement of an old H.R. 925 bill you see on the description box with the GovTrack website. And I only saw 5 minutes of it on C-SPAN, unfortunately. I was busy yesterday. But in regards to what just happened yesterday, it was like a very historical legislation, of course. And you see a picture of Joe Biden and President Obama clapping and celebrating everything else like the usual. Basically, it's been shoved down our throats in a sense, if you think about it. Specifically, yesterday, earlier today, I just got home from work not too long ago, and out of nowhere, my co-workers, or specifically one co-worker of mine named Josh, he started asking about, oh, did you hear about the health care bill being passed? And, that was an open discussion, basically, because there's only two other workers there within my area, because we're, like, pretty much in an office setting where it's, like, more of, like, we sit next to each other, etc. And so, I didn't mind it, but, like, as always, when he's asking for input from others, like, for example, me, I started talking about, like, oh, are you for or for against it? And he's like, well, I'm for it. And it led to a point where I was discussing my point of view, not via the facts and information as you guys here on the internet are well aware of based on homework and watching other videos, the cons of this healthcare reform, of Obamacare in layman terms. He just basically discredited what I have to say. He talked over me, was rude, and perhaps even on the obnoxious side, alongside with another coworker who started working there, named Shu Singh. And it's just not about bad-mouthing these people, but it's just in general on how my fellow peers, specifically I'm focused on you guys as far as around my age group for the time being, on how you guys asking for my opinion or asking for input or wanting to talk about it, but when I do talk about them from my end, when I'm backing up, you interrupted me, you disregard what I have to say, and that's very disrespectful to and very contrary to what is your purpose of that conversation from the start, because they were aware of how I handle things or how I react to certain things. For example, as far as when it comes to pop down to this is political talk. And that's what they were talking about mainly, is politics. And what was strange about the coworker Josh is that he didn't really want to get involved with politics, but you actually mentioned the healthcare reform, which that definitely does involve politics. So that's very indirect and very contrary from the start. I have to say that. And what I'm starting to see here is a very trend in what it comes down to how we interact as people in general, because you want to hear what other people have to hear, but if it's something of not of your taste, not of something of your interest and perspective, you will discredit it 100%, no matter what it is, even though you're not fully aware of it. And that's what bothers to me the most, because you haven't read the Congressional Budget Office's the Affordable Health Care back with the analysis back in November 30, 2009, that was given by Mitch McConnell and Harry Reid from the Senate, if I remember correctly. I actually did a video about this. I'll re-upload the video sometime later on this week or next week. And within the two-part video I did back a few months ago before I removed it, I discussed about the actual, and I made my own notes of this analysis that they made on PDF that you can see online, to description box, I guess you say. And it seemed kind of good at first, at the same time as bad, because I'm going to be taxed regardless more. Specifically with me, I'd be like about between 7 to 12% more in my income bracket. So it doesn't matter what Obama said, like people under $250,000 are going to be taxed. We're going to be taxed regardless of this. And I understand, this is we're in an economic depression. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It's been like this for a good year and a half now, at least, in obviousness, of course. And like I said, what I'm trying to say and starting to see is that the closed-mindedness or the pure willful ignorance on how you don't want to know other people's perspectives, ideas, and viewpoints, along with them backing with facts, information, and you want to put your opinion, emphasis, supposed emphasis, and emotions into it, and you think that you're doing something good or better for the discussion or for the conflict. And good, if I want to also get down with the economics and such, obviously we hear that there's more bonuses, more bailouts, etc., job stimulances, and this female coworker of mine, Shusheng, I've met. She's actually in close relation with a an analyst for Goldman Sachs on-call personnel. So I would think it was a very good insight for me to actually interview her. I actually invited her to lunch. I was like, hey, after work, I was wondering, my treat, I'll treat you to lunch. And we could actually have like an interview. No cameras, no microphone, nothing. I'll just talk with her, and I can reiterate what she said to me as opposed to privacy reasons. And I did actually ask that question directly before I left for work of my schedule. She said yes, and this was back around Tuesday afternoon. By Wednesday, when I finished up my work for the day, and she had to leave around 2 o'clock, I was just in time to actually say, hey, you want to go and have lunch right now? She said, no, I'm sorry, I'm too busy. I'm busy working until 3 o'clock. I'm like, wait a second, she's scheduled till 2 o'clock on this time schedule table. So I was like, okay. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. It's like, oh, I had to go to the post office. I mean, rather than doing all of that, you would have actually said no directly to me earlier, because you said yes. You agreed upon verbally under common law. I mean, just common sense, that you actually want to have lunch with me to talk about these economic news, because her ideas are very different from mine and perhaps yours here on YouTube. Remember the article? I'll show you the article again about Goldman Sachs armed to the teeth for safety reasons. People are out here like you and I are average people. We're being raped and pillaged of money, while Shu Shang, she's mentioned about like everything's okay. Blank Fine deserves bonuses. Goldman Sachs workers, they deserve the money that they earn. Now instead of $700,000 like last year from the second quarter of 2009, now they're getting about $500,000, if not $450,000 approximately, as she stated to me, if I remember correctly. So what I'm trying to say is this basically, to all my young adults out there, to all my peers out there, if you have something to say, say it. If you don't have nothing to say at all, just don't say it. I'm calling out the people, specifically you two guys, or I should say specifically Shu Shang, for an interview regarding about your positiveness of Goldman Sachs and the economy itself. Because I see you as a great asset to the not just the internet, but the YouTube community, where I've seen many economists, many news reporters who are average guys like me and you, or I would say me and them, and I don't understand how can you actually make that insult to me like that. You have to understand that is very off timely. That sounded very disrespectful and sporadic, because I was willing to spend an hour at best to actually spend my own money to take you to next door for a cafe lunch or whatever, and to discuss about without any media related tools for me to bring around, like the camera, for example, web camera. So guys, you have to have more of an open mind than ever before. I know that this woman is actually watching this video right now, because I showed her my YouTube channel many days ago before I even asked her for this luncheon, asked her for this interview / luncheon to be more exact. And people like, for example, as the guy I mentioned earlier, you guys, people in general, you got to know all the sides of the story before you just come to and dominate and insult and disrespect what I have to say in this group thinking format. Ladies and gentlemen, this is New York City. It's the melting pot of New York, with all types of people, all shapes and sizes, all mannerisms, words, you name it, cultures. How else are we going to get along to understand one another, to what we want from each other? This is where it comes down to the fact that you want to dominate because of your words. You think that's right, but you didn't read it. You didn't know about much of it. You didn't even know about Joe Stack flying the plane into a freaking IRS building in Austin, Texas. That was all over the news, the newspaper, radio, you name it. How dare you actually want to disrespect me, to actually talk me down, interrupt while I'm talking to you guys about this matter. Group thinking's over. It's not Cub Scouts anymore. This isn't high school anymore. This is now the real workplace with you, me, and all types of people, no matter how and what you think of. If you don't like who you're working with, who you're interacting with, live in a cabin, and I swear to God, you'll probably be better off living in a cabin like that. So I'm calling Shusheng, I'm calling other people out regarding about what I'm trying to talk about and expose regarding about the political and economic analysis into this healthcare debate. Generation Y, this is me. This is the flesh. You see this? You see my eyes. You see my fingers. I am a human being. Respect what I have to say to you, because I don't trash talk 100%. I don't gossip and bullshit 100%. That is right, ladies and gentlemen. The time is now for you to stop thinking that whatever someone else is thinking differently, he's alien or he's so different. It's just a TV. This tool that I'm using now. This is just a tool for me to talk to you and to talk to you directly as best as I can until I meet you in person or to interact with you, etc., etc., etc. Now, the next few, it's going to be immediate though, the taxation, of course. But I would say, just to be on the conservative side, anywhere between now and 10 years, we will see great changes happening in the healthcare industry. I will see, hearing, not only hearing, but reading that Medicare will be cut by $500 billion, or Medicaid, or both, or whichever or. That will be something of a slap in the face for the elderly and for people of lower income. And I have to say that is unbelievable for the government just to step in like that. Our government, the United States of America government, is not our mommy and data. They are not there to protect us and to serve us and spoon feed us anytime, anywhere, anyhow. We, the people, actually make something out of this country. Don't like what I have to say? Or you want to get to know what I have to say? Speak up and speak out. Make sure to be straightforward if you're agreeing to something, and don't blow it off at the time that I ask you to directing you to meet you downstairs in a cafe for an interview about Goldman Sachs. If you don't like disclosing that information, not disclosing information, but in general about like, I told you what I do. This isn't about invading privacy and being a stalker or anything like that, or being asking you out on a date. I already know your situation. Whatever. I'm asking you as volunteerism of my time to calling you out and why you think Goldman Sachs, why you think this economy is so peachy creamy in layman terms, because that sounded so opposite of what I'm hearing on YouTube. Thank you, subscribers, and thank you, YouTube and the internet altogether. Have a nice day. Good luck with your taxation. Good luck with jail time and fines, because I will not consent. See you in court, Obama.